What's up guys, welcome back. So, the OCG ban list has been revealed for July 1st, 2019. You know, the OCG has set formats every 3 months. They're going to get their new list, and it's quite of a big list. A couple of top tier decks, a couple of big decks have been hit, are going to be hit in the OCG for the next format, so July 2019. Again, here is the latest breakdown of, you know, the metagame breakdown from the OCG. Again, very similar to past weeks. Salamangreat being the best deck, the most represented deck, followed by Orcust, and then most of the time it was just Thunder Dragons, and then the other decks like Altergeist, Pendulum, Guru decks, Subterrors, Sky Strikers, right, faded away, etc, etc. But now, with this new upcoming ban list for the OCG, which cards have been hit and what are the TCG consequences? When can we expect the TCG ban list? Not really sure, but probably after Worlds, right after Worlds. So August, preferably, maybe September, somewhere like that. Anyway, so the first thing here on their list, I believe, is one of the biggest cards in the current format. Biggest engine cards being Nightmare Mermaid, of course. Mermaid being the big facilitator for the Orcust engine, and them hitting the, well, it's like, yeah, it's indeed a direct hit for the Orcust engine. It's a good thing. Weakens the Orcust engine. Orcust is still a live deck. Rusty Barges is not been hit, or has not been hit here on the OCG ban list. So them hitting the Orcust engine, losing it, at least it lost a lot of speed, and let's not forget, the OCG doesn't have the danger cards, right? So the dangers might, quote-unquote, or could somewhat solve, you know, Orcust, but it takes away the speed, but it's still a top-tier deck, let's face it. The second card here is that, well, it's a card that should have been banned on their previous list as well. Gandora X, you know, there's like this ruling, well, the card text difference between TCG and OCG, but in the TCG, it also was an FTK before our most recent TCG ban list update, but again, this should have happened on the previous ban list, and this might bring back Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. One can dream, at least for the OCG. That's it, so only 2 cards banned. Well, a couple of cards being hit, and again, a couple of big decks, top tier decks, tier 1 decks have been hit. And the first card, again, one of those cards that I think have been on most people's prediction list for, yeah, for the TCG as well, and that's Gazelle. Gazelle is going to get limited in the OCG, and again, we have been talking about the potential of it or Salamangreats being hit in the TCG, and well, which card should you hit from Salamangreats? Lower their consistency, lower their Rota count, right? The Searcher, Gazelle is definitely up there. Lady Debug as what happened at the TCG, but outside of that, Salamangreats have been hit in the TCG, so them hitting Gazelle in the OCG is definitely a solid tell that post-Nationals format, August, September, we might see, yeah, this same hit for us TCG players as well. So if you're a fervent Salamangreat player, this, I feel, is definitely going to happen. Second card here is definitely also should have been done on our TCG ban list as well. We see Colossus being that huge beatstick, basically indestructible beatstick, and let's not forget the effect that prevents your opponent from adding cards from their hand. It's ridiculous, right, that this card is still at 3 because of all these beneficial effects. I'm looking at a card like Skill Drain, well, you know, they do different stuff, but like Mistake, the Floodgate-alike cards with attack points that is very easy to go to, searchable in some way, so because it's again very easy to get to and special summon to the field. It's built-in protection, a crazy card, definitely a good hit, restricting Thunder Dragon Colossus. Although the second card here, the second direct hit to Thunder Dragons is them hitting the Dragonhawk. Okay, it's a good card, but I'm not really sure if hitting Hawk was a correct move next to Colossus. Colossus, we all know why, but again, which other cards should have been hit from Thunders? You know, okay, Hawk is a big facilitator, but maybe semi-limitation might have been fine as well. Again, I'm personally not a huge fan of semi-limiting cards, right? But okay, 2 hits to Thunders, but it's still a good deck, a good engine. They don't have dangers yet, and if they are going to get dangers, Thunders is still going to be a very solid deck, right? And they still have Everest, yeah, indeed, Pot of Everest, not to forget, even though, you know, is Thunder going to run that? Another card, Lady Debug, yeah, basically following the trend as far as TCG players, getting the limitation again, a direct hit to Salamangreats, aka, well, Cyber's decks, right? But that's a huge hit for Salamangreats, losing 2 key search cards, being Lady Debug and Gazelle. Another card here going to get limited for the OCG, that is that Metaverse. Well, we know Mystic Mine, as you have seen since we have been discussing the banned cards and the limitation cards, but nope, Mystic Mine is not on both these, well, small lists, I guess, but Konami opts to hit the search card, right? The thing that lets you use or activate Mystic Mine or field spells during your opponent's turn. Okay, that's strong, but limiting Metaverse, I guess, is a strange move. Well, why not hit or directly hit the problem card itself? And I'm looking at Mystic Mine, of course. So yeah, Metaverse, okay, kind of hitting a potential trap trick engine, but yes, a limitation on a limitation on Metaverse. It's a strange one. Semi-limitation, we see ABC Dragon Buster. Finally, I guess ABC Dragon Buster was at 1 in the OCG for some well, don't get me wrong, ABC is still a very solid deck, but Konami slowly giving them pieces back, right? Speaking of giving them pieces back, Spiral Quick Fix back to 2 in the OCG. I see this happening in the TCG as well. There are some tops here and there, nationals, sometimes, well, YCS like bubbling out Spiral Danger or Danger Spiral, so them getting back a second Quick Fix, I guess it's fine. Won't do that much, but it's still a very powerful card. Semi-limitation on Dark Arm Dragon and Dark Refer, the Dark Engine, can we say Teledat coming back, since there's, I've seen the list already, one huge card coming back at 3 for the OCG. Pancratops, semi-limitation, I get why Konami doesn't really like those splashable staple at 3 cards, and I'm looking at Pancratops here being most of the time a preferred staple in the side deck, right, being at 3 most of the time, not always but most of the time. So them semi-limiting the Pancratops is understandable, but well, it's Konami, right? TG Hyper Librarian back to 2, okay, that's fine, I guess. Let's try out Chunk Double decks. Cyberstein. It's a cool card, but again, the hand traps kinda nuke it, and the consistency, of course. Double Trishula though? Okay, that's cool. Double Trishula in the OCG. I'm not really sure if it's going to have a huge impact. Again, talking about Chunk Double. Ah yes, who is going to try that out in the OCG? Chunk Double featuring Double Trishula. We see Necro Cycle, so again, also Necro's getting a couple of pieces back. As you know, I believe they have Triple Shuret in the OCG, if I'm not mistaken, so one extra copy of Cycle is definitely welcome for Necros, I guess. All these things are definitely possible for the TCG as well, right? Like Pancratops as well, the Quick Fix, Metaverse, yeah, that might happen as well, the Colossus hit, yeah, the Gazelle hit, so all these hits can definitely happen for us TCG players as well after the Nationals format. Here it is, Mystic Mine, a semi-limitation on Mystic Mine. Okay, you can definitely run just run Spell and Trap Destruction to just get rid of your opponent's Mystic Mine, and Metaverse was a problem since it lets you activate Mystic Mine during your opponent's turn after they used up their the Galaxy Slide, Mystical Space Typhoon or Twin Twister or whatever. So that was a problem, but them hitting Metaverse and Mystic Mine to 2, not really sure, just ban Mystic Mine and keep Metaverse at 3, I feel, or are things, or maybe are we overlooking things? Unlimited, very quickly, we have Stratos, mind-blowing, right? Stratos at 3, and but yeah, as we have seen in the OCG is that heroes aren't really doing that much. And even though Stratos currently has 2, builds have been running only 1 Stratos, right? I believe Hero Lives is at 2 in the OCG as well, but giving them back 3 Stratos is fine. As long as Hero Lives is not at 3, it's not going to be that big. But still, triple Stratos, one can dream, I guess. True Draco's getting a couple of pieces back here. Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter, I guess that's fine. Masterpiece still being banned. Totally Awesome, we see the Marine Cess, right? The Marine Cess support. Not really sure how many Totally Awesomes were allowed in the OCG, but again, with Marine Cess being released in the TCG as well, definitely something to keep an eye out for. You know, Peleos and Marine Cess. Spellbook of Knowledge, I guess it's fine. Why was it limited? or semi-limited, and this guy, Solemn Judgment, back to 3. Wow, one can dream, right? It has been ages, like ever since Telenet, 2007, 2008, that this card was it at last, was at 3. So Konami giving back the Salamangreat, like Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment. Ooh, interesting one, right? But still, yeah, the game is very fast, so sacrificing half of your life points might be dangerous. Triple Ceasefire, okay, that's fine, I guess. So a very interesting OCG list. A lot of the big decks were directly hit. I'm looking at Salamangreat got a couple of huge hits in consistency. They're still quite good, I guess. They still have the Signet Search card. So Salamangreat still feel like definitely like a strong contender, right? Because of its consistency still. Orcust is still a very much live deck. The OCG will get the Dangerous eventually, so Dangerous again can quite solve the core problem of not having the Nightmare, right? The Nightmare Mermaids. And then the other decks, well, yeah, Metaverse Pendulums, Subterrors, Sky Strikers might pop up again. You know, they were good, and basically they're early form because they are just splashing in triple pot of Avarice, but DD Crow like cards were a huge deal. And Thunder Dragons lost again, a huge consistency, but again, Dangerous is definitely or might solve that one. Although one Colossus is definitely going to hurt. Them hitting Pandora, yeah, should happen in a TCG as well. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.